Hello everyone and welcome to ESED 3235 or ESOL methods. Before we start talking about the syllabus, I want to take a couple of minutes to introduce myself to you. My name is Elisa Leckie. I am newly arrived in Georgia, moving from Tucson, Arizona, where I lived with my family for, many years. I just recently completed my PhD in adolescent literacy with an emphasis on second language learners and have been working on a course similar to this, teaching it and the other courses towards their ESOL endorsement throughout the whole state of Arizona for about the last 10, 11 years or so. I think it's vitally important that many educators, if not all educators, learn how to work with second language learners because there's so many more of them in classrooms today. In addition to earning my PhD and being a student, I spent 18 years as a middle level educator in the district in Tucson, Arizona. Primarily taught English language arts, but also Spanish language arts and a little bit of social studies. And of course, ESL. I am fluent in Spanish. It's my second language, and began learning Spanish in second grade and really did not become fluent until I started using Spanish to teach with my middle school students. Enough about me. Let's talk about the course a little bit. This course is a fully online course. However, we do meet both synchronously, meaning all of us are meeting together online, and asynchronously, where you are doing the work at your own pace as it best meets your schedule. Our synchronous times, you will meet approximately every other week with a small group in a chat session. And the chat sessions have more of a feel of a class. You and your group will have a task to do based on the week's readings and or videos, and some time to discuss the content and interact with me as well. The asynchronous weeks will consist of you reflecting upon the reading and the content of the course and responding to those concepts in a written reflection. You also have a couple of presentations that you will be doing individually as well as in small groups that you will be uploading. All right, so let's take a walk through the syllabus and see what each of those aspects look like specifically. Okay, so here's our syllabus. It is available to you on Folio right now, and it is in a Google Doc format, which means that any changes we make to schedules or pacing or assignments will be added to the syllabus, and you'll be able to see them in real time. So I would strongly suggest not printing out a copy of the syllabus, but instead just accessing the link to keep track of those updates. Please do take a few moments to read through the course format and the objectives and the expectations for the course. There's one required textbook for the course. It is the SIOP model, Making Content Comprehensible for English Language Learners. It is available in the bookstore, so please access that as soon as possible. And then you will need to choose one of the optional texts. Please take a couple of minutes to Google them, look for reviews on Amazon so that you can select the text that most interests you. The chat sessions in this course are designed so that you and a couple of your colleagues have opportunities to interact with each other around the concepts and topics that we are studying. I will place you in groups as soon as I get all of your completed surveys, and your group placement will be determined by the book that you choose, your optional text. You will be placed in a group with others who have chosen that same text, so you can work on that review together. At some point, perhaps at the midpoint in the semester, we may change our groups just so you have a chance to interact with others in the class. However, there are only 7 of us in the course, so I foresee a group of 4 and a group of 3, so there's not a whole lot of mixing up that we can do. Your participation in these chats counts as your attendance because they are more like class sessions. So please make sure that whatever time that you and your group members choose, it is a consistent time that you will be able to attend. Okay? I will also be sitting in on these chats with you, answering questions and engaging as part of your discussion. You can use our assigned class time for on Thursdays from 5 to 7 as your assigned or designated chat time. The only time your group cannot designate as a chat time is on Wednesday from 5 to 7 because that's when I teach the undergraduate section of this course, and it's a face-to-face. So I won't be available to participate in those chats and answer any questions. Okay. Another key aspect of this course are the reading reflections and the threaded discussions. On the weeks that we are not chatting in small groups, you will be independently reading and reflecting upon those readings. Please make sure that the reflections that you turn in are well written, proofread, and show your best professional academic writing. They are not friendly conversations. This is a professional atmosphere. You will submit each of those reading reflections the Monday morning by 8 a.m. before class. And then you and your classmates have a couple of days to read each other's posts and comment on 2 of them through the discussion. And again, these discussions will be in small groups based on the book of your choice. One of the 2 key assessments for this course is a 15-hour field practicum. You are required to be in a classroom that contains at least 1 ELL student, if not more, for 15 hours of observation and at least once where you tutor or teach students, ELL students. You will also be reflecting on this experience. It may be difficult for some of you to find placements, particularly if you live outside of the Savannah and Statesboro area. However, we do have a form that you can submit. Looks like this. And our field placement office can assist you in finding a field placement. If you work in a school district or in a school, you may use a classroom or at your site or at a different site so long as it's in the same district that you work. Okay. If you are concerned about finding a field placement, please email me as soon as possible and we will work through those logistics together. Alright, as this is a methods course, we have built in 2 opportunities for you to practice applying the teaching methodologies. The first one is an individual teaching experience where you will take one of the strategies from our course text and teach it. How you teach it, who you teach it to is completely up to you, and the format in which you teach it and show your teaching to us is also completely up to you. Video would be great, and we have lots of technological resources available to you to help figure that out. As the due date for that assignment gets closer, we will talk more about the logistics and the criteria. You will also be teaching in a small group. You will work with your group members to describe a language teaching methodology to other colleagues in this course. Your teaching in this case will be more traditional PowerPoint or a Prezi perhaps, but it must also include a handout that we can use as a resource. And again, as the day draws closer, we'll talk about specifics for this assignment. The second key assessment for this course is the modification of an existing unit plan that was originally created for non-English learners. Your job in this assignment will be to modify this unit so that second language learners have access to that content. Okay, and again, the closer we get to the due date for this assignment, we'll get into more specifics, but there's lots of detailed information available to you right now on the syllabus. As I mentioned earlier, you also have a book review for this course. You will select one of the optional texts, read it, review it, summarize it, and critique it, with the goal of reviewing it for your colleagues. Is it a worthwhile investment into their teaching toolbox to add to their shelf, or is it not worth our time and energy? And again, more specifics to come on that. And lastly, of course, we have a final exam that is worth 10% of your grade. Alright, so the last part of the syllabus is the schedule, our calendar, so to speak. You will see that our first week, I need you to watch this video, make sure you have your textbook, and attend our whole class chat from 5 to 7 on Thursday. There is also a survey that will be helpful for you to complete by Friday. It should only take you about 10 minutes. But please make sure that you have previewed the optional text, because one of the questions is going to ask you to rank your text, what would be your first choice and your second choice, so that I can get groups organized and ready to go for the following week. Also, you will notice on Folio that our first official learning module is already up and active for you. You will need to read, there are 2 articles posted about educating ELLs in the Southeast. What's the current research that's happening out there, who they are, what are some of the trends, and some of the stumbling blocks along the way. You need to read those 2 articles and reflect on them according to the guidelines of the reflection that I mentioned earlier. You need to upload that reflection by Monday the 26th and upload it into the discussion section so that your classmates can read it. And then you will need to comment on the reflections of your peers, at least 2 of them, in substantive, thoughtful manner. And then you will notice that the following week is our first small group chat, and you will have your groups by then, and we should be good to go. Okay, that's kind of the course in a general overview. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to email me at any time.